There are a lot of opinions online about how insurance should be handled on a subject to deal. Now, most of them are theories. Most of them come from Facebook groups, or a lot of them come from people who have never actually done a subject to deal. Now, the problem is this: if you handle insurance the wrong way on a subject to deal, you really create this unnecessary risk, not just from an insurance standpoint, but really from a lender visibility standpoint. Because the last thing you want is to give a lender a reason to look into it closer and have an issue with the loan. Today, I'm going to walk you through what I believe is the correct way to handle insurance on a subject to deal. This is based on real experience from me, and it's designed to really reduce risk and just keep things clean and boring for the lender. Now, when you purchase a property subject to, the seller almost always already has an insurance policy in place. And that policy is usually paid through escrow as a part of their monthly mortgage payment. Once you buy the property and the deed transfers, that policy no longer protects you as the homeowner. Your name isn't on it, right? And even if it was added, the seller is still listed as the primary insured and you're not. And for you, that could really be a big problem. So to fix this at closing, you need a brand new insurance policy. Not a modification, you need a new policy. You need to be listed as the primary insured, and the seller needs to be listed as the additionally insured, okay? The lender also needs to be listed as the mortgagee. Once that policy is created, your insurance agent needs to send it directly to the lender. And really the goal for it is to be paid through escrow, just like the original policy. Now, this process takes time, sometimes 2, 3, 4 weeks. So you have to be patient during this time. What I like to do personally is call the mortgage company like once a week. I use my limited power of attorney to speak with them, and I just confirm that the new policy has been received and accepted by them. Now, once the lender confirms that the policy is active, there's usually one more step that a lot of people miss. You need to cancel the seller's old policy. This is crucial, and it's something that I missed early on, and really across several deals, it probably cost me $30,000 plus. When you cancel the seller's old policy, there's usually a refund check. Oftentimes it's $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 or more. Now that refund matters because if it's not applied correctly, you can end up with an escrow shortage, and that ends up increasing your monthly payment, destroying your cash flow. The refund check is usually made out to the seller's name. Yes, that can be tricky, but there are ways to actually handle it, and I can cover that in another video. Now, the key takeaway is simple. If you don't cancel the seller's policy, you're flat out leaving money on the table. Once the new policy is paid through escrow and the old policy is canceled, you're done. The deal is protected, the lender is satisfied, everything stays quiet. One of the most common questions I get is this: won't the lender be concerned that the seller's listed as the additionally insured instead of the primary insured? In my personal experience, the answer is no. See, the people reviewing these policies are usually just checking boxes. They're confirming names exist on the policy. They're not digging deeper than that. And if there's ever an issue, it's really not a big deal. Your insurance agent can just rewrite the policy to fix it, make sure the lender's happy. The goal with subject to is not to be clever. It's to be boring and try to stay under the radar. Now, if this feels confusing, that's completely normal. This stuff generally isn't talked about, and when it is talked about, it's not very clear. Inside of my free school community, we break things like this all the time down. Live conversations, real deals, and real questions from people that are just trying to figure it out. We talk through subject to structures, insurance setup, lender communication, and the mistakes that actually cost you money. If you want to learn this the right way and ask questions in real time, the link to the free community is below. There's no sales pitch, there's no pressure, it's just people doing actual deals and trying to help each other get better inside of the community. I hope to see you there.